to set up the month of February. I use the Passion Planner daily, weekly digital planning. I absolutely love this. You guys know that this is the first time that I'm using the Passion Planners daily and weekly because this is the first time they've kind of released it, and I'm absolutely loving it. This is an overview of what my January planning system was looking like, just kind of ideas. I'm tweaking things as I'm going along, but I'm absolutely loving the flow of it. So this is just a setup of an example of my weekly. And then I don't know, I haven't really been so consistent with the daily planning because I'm still kind of getting used to it. But this is an example as well of just kind of what my day looks like on a daily basis, if I remember. And I don't always fill out the daily because some days I'm doing things, other days I'm not, and it's just, or I should say really some days are just redundant and there's just no need for me to like write stuff in it. But I'm still getting used to that process because I want to implement more of that, just kind of like that routine in that system to see if maybe in February, if I'm being more mindful of my daily planning, if it will kind of help with the areas where I lacked, or just kind of really tracking. I even did like tracking in the month of January, and that didn't go over as well either. I'll show you a little bit here, an example of the tracking that I started, and I just kind of fell off. So I'm also going to evaluate whether or not some of these things are even like beneficial, like if it's just kind of a time suck or if it's really something that can be helpful and I need to kind of utilize. I think the symptom tracking, especially because of my neck pain and discomfort, is going to be important for me. So I probably will reintroduce that for the month of February, but that won't be in this video. That'll kind of just be just something that I do on my own. Okay, but for today, so it's February and it's the month of love and romance, and I figured that I wanted to go with something kind of cute and romantic feeling and romantic looking. So we're gonna go with the nice blush themes. I like to, all of these areas here that are just, these areas here, I'll highlight it here, here, here. I like to wipe them out because I like to make my planner kind of look pretty. And I'm not really into washies like that. You have to buy digital washies. I have some here in my stickers, but I really don't use them that much. What I tend to do is just take, my pen, my Apple Pencil, and then just kind of block out sections here and here like I'm doing, and then just kind of write, whatever on it. But let's fix that so it's a little bit more pretty. And that's what I like to do. I like to have a theme. If you saw quickly in January, that theme was kind of like a gold theme. I always think of the new year as far as New Year's Eve and celebration, just fun and festive. Just, I don't know, I always think luxury. I always think new beginnings. I always kind of have that vibe. So I always tend to, in January, go with a gold kind of aesthetic, even when I was doing paper planning. Um, and I don't really worry so much about like these little tidbits because I just take the pen and I kind of fix it. And this is probably, for some people like, oh my God, this is so time consuming. But for me, it's really relaxing. It's really relaxing. All right, so that's good. And we're not going to make it like perfect because it doesn't need to be perfect. It's just the general sense of what it is. So I'm going to continue on making these, filling them in. So because I use the Passion Planner or the digital planning so much, sometimes when I'm in my physical planner, I have the tendency to, if I'm drawing a line, like hold it as if I'm writing with an Apple Pencil and waiting for the line to fill in, which is absolutely insane. I don't know if anybody else does that or if they've gotten kind of into that habit and that routine of doing that, but that is something over the years that I have started noticing, oops, I have started noticing that I'm doing. And I catch myself like, what are you doing? Like, seriously, like, get it together, Michelle. All right, let's just fix that. There. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect because it's me and no one else is going to look at it. It's just for myself. And honestly, uh, when it's zoomed out, you can't even really tell the difference as far as like areas that weren't covered in the color. And I'll show you in a second. Let me just zoom it out. You can't even tell. Like this whole area right here, you still see the black outline, but like I said, when I zoom it out, so I'm learning not to be a perfectionist. I struggle with perfectionism. I think a lot of that, when I think about it, really was the pressure from my full-time job because, um, you know, when I was a probation officer in another life, we had to make sure that everything was perfect as far as like writing reports, our presentation, just everything. Making sure that we went into court, our arguments in court were valid. So there couldn't be any wiggle room as far as mistakes was concerned, because if mistakes happened, that meant the likelihood of an offender getting released, if they should have been incarcerated, or us getting yelled at by the judge on the record in court. Like some judges were just lethal. Like they would sit there and they would take pleasure in trying to humiliate and embarrass you on the record in front of everybody. Now, why did they do that? I always felt like they were just power tripping. But there was this immense immense pressure to be perfect. And so I'm trying to rid myself of that mentality. But it's been like, 20 years of that immense pressure to make sure that everything is like 100%. And it's going to take some time for me to like get myself out of that, mentality and that thought process. So the next thing that I like to do is write out my schedule for the month. So I am going to do that now. And then I'm just going to write it in this color, this blush color that I have for right now, but I'll probably go back in and adjust it so that visually I can see I have everything kind of color coded for different things, so that from a visual point of view, I know what's going on. So not everything is the same unified color. So I'll do that now. Okay, so this is an overview of what my month looks like. I have just some cute inspirational quotes. Push yourself because no one else is going to do it for you. This one I also like. You are allowed to be both a masterpiece and a work in progress. Again, that kind of goes back to like not being a perfectionist when it comes to my writing and my work. Um, I have my writing days outlined. I have my courses that I'm participating in filled in, my mastermind days also put in. And then over here where it says pages due, this right here, this right here is a big deal for me because one of the things that we agreed upon with the mastermind is that we were going to start critiquing each other's work. And so another part of the reason why I'm kind of doing these outlines and being really intentional with my writing is because now I'm going to have someone critiquing my work. And so I want to ensure that I'm giving the best possible work for the ladies to review and read so that I can get the best kind of, you know, assessment, critique, criticism so that I can improve my writing. I don't want to make it difficult. I don't want them to say, you know, things are missing or there's holes or things don't make any sense. So that outlining for me is going to be really important to be as intentional as possible. So on the bottom, I have my goals for the month. With regards to the manuscript, I want to have 14 writing days and I want to achieve a writing word count goal of 21,000 for the month. I want to outline at least 4 scenes per week. So that would be, there's really 3 weeks. So I'm just going to put here 12 scenes just so that I give myself a number to shoot for. Then, wait, no, no, the math. Hold on. That is, so yeah, 4 scenes per week. Yeah, no, I was right. 4 scenes per week times 3. Yeah, 12 scenes. I'm bugging. Okay, 12 scenes. And then as far as my health goes, I want to make sure that I'm exercising weekly, and it could either be doing yoga, going for a walk, or strength training. I want to reduce my processed foods because it's going to help with my inflammation, with my neck, and then continue to do my protein, my Herbalife protein shakes daily. Over here in the miscellaneous category, that's just for anything that kind of comes up. I can just jot that down. As far as my YouTube and my social media, I want to upload 3 videos this month. I want to increase my YouTube community by 10%. And I want to create a calendar for my IG and my shorts. So I have to do that. And then my monthly task blocks, I like to track my time. I like to track my time to see where my day is going as far as work is concerned. And so I try to give myself, a task blocks because I use the Pomodoro method is 25 minutes with a 5-minute break. Now you can, shift it. It doesn't have to be 25 minutes. It could be an hour with maybe like a 15-minute break. So however, but I use 25 working, 5-minute break, and a task block is a half hour. And so I tend to know, having tracking my time that I can work per day anywhere from 4 to 6 task blocks. So I usually try to go for 6, and then the number of days that I'm writing. So for example, February 3rd, which is Monday, which is tomorrow, I am putting myself to write because that may be the only day that I'm going to be able to write for the entire week. And I'm going to give myself 6 task blocks to work. Then the following week, the week of February 10th to February 16th, I have scheduled myself for 4 writing days. So that's going to be 24 task blocks for the week. And the same thing the following week, 24 task blocks, and the following week. And so adding all of that up, I'm looking at an estimated 78 task blocks for the month of February. And my starting word count is 7,288 words. And then I will track the month to see how many hours that I work. And then I'm just going to show you real quick how I calculate all of that. Let me pull up the app that I use. I use the Focus Keeper. And then if we go, let me see. Oops. Okay. If I do the month, this is the month of February. This is the month of January. I had 83 task blocks. I worked for 35 hours and 54 minutes with 7 hours and 56 minutes of a break for the entire month. So that's how I'm tracking my time instead of trying to figure it out on my own. The app does it for me. So this is it. This is my month for February. Hopefully I will be successful with hitting my goals for the month, but I just kind of wanted to share with you guys what my plan is for the month of February for my writing goals. And if you have any questions, comments, please, just comment down below. What are your processes of planning for the month? Do you plan for the month? If you do, and if you've made it this far, drop a pink heart emoji in the comments. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.